Hello everyone and welcome to another video with me on Berets, and it's not long until the end of the year. That's right, we're almost at the end of the year, and I have a few maybe end of the year videos planned that's a little different from Wotv, and also some stuff maybe to do with Wotv, you know, to pad out the release. But oh yeah, you can see here we have a kind of a special guest. It's Mog. Mog is here today to do some stuff specifically, maybe revolving around some banners for fun, because this global account, I really haven't maintained it. I really haven't worked at it, but that's okay, because, you know, sometimes it's just about the Christmas spirit and having a little fun with a video. So I'm here today to actually talk about Duane. Duane, should have checked exactly how to pronounce it, but it's fine. There will be 100,000 comments that will give me that information. But we're here to talk about Duane here today, a global exclusive unit, and one that I have to say I'm actually like really legitimately. I'm going to sum up my video very quickly in the sense of, wow, am I glad this is not a Japan side problem. Yeah, because honestly, like, taking a look at this unit, early indications are just, wow, they really overtuned this unit to a considerable amount. I'm actually legit surprised. And Wotv calc, what happened to you? Why are you endlessly loading? I don't entirely know, but I'm here today to talk about this new unit, and we're going to take a look at his kit. We're going to take a look at his stats, and I'm also going to be doing this in a very interesting way, in the sense that I want to compare him to some of the stuff that's more recent on the JP side. And this is a rough comparison, obviously, because one, the new vision card is something else that we probably need to talk about too. The fact that that vision card is just so tailored for him. Taking a look at the vision card, matter of fact, let's just take a really quick look at the vision card, which is somewhere in here. Where the heck is that thing? I know it's in here somewhere. I probably went by it some. There it is. Alright, so let's take a look at this vision card really quickly, because I gotta say, this is a pretty powerful vision card, especially for a tanky and attack unit, which is what Duane really is. And some people have even said that this would just be good enough on its own for other dark units, and I have to agree, but it's probably even better for you-know-who. So taking a look at this, 35% attack up, 12 missile resistance, slash attack up by 10 on bestowed effect, and a bonus effect here, as you can see, for a very specific new unit. Dark attack up by 20. This vision card, like I said, is, I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that it's limited, this is just a really solid vision card. And actually a decent get, considering the step-up banner that it's on. If you're into dark units and dark slash units, I feel like this is a good enough vision card. But even the stats on this thing, 378 HP and 162 attack is pretty comparable to some of the more recent powerful Japanese vision cards. So yeah, I have to say this vision card is just solid, and probably the most recommendable thing that I'm going to say today. But it is definitely, I feel like, a mandatory get as well if you were also going for this brand new unit. And I feel like this is just the situation I predicted, with a really kind of shitty caveat that I have to put out there, where I feel like Duane isn't just meta. I feel like he is going to be a violent shift in the global meta. Taking an early look at Duane, he has the HP of some of the better JP brawlers, but the attack of a certain golden-plated Stern, he is pretty comparable in terms of against a lot of other units. As a matter of fact, I was just taking a peek at his stats, comparing him to Christmas Victoria, and also a certain other Christmas unit, Christmas Victoria, who were two units that were potentially going to come out. But I also looked at them in terms of their EX stats versus Duane, and looking at job stats, job unit level 15 and unit level 99. And keep in mind that this is a base stat comparison. Obviously, with the board and everything, it's going to be a little bit different. But taking a look at him versus like Victoria, who is a range unit, but still pretty much the same HP as her EX job level, and an actual slightly higher attack. Not only that, but in terms of agility, almost matching it there. And also, I compared it for comparison's sakes against Venera. And Venera has higher HP, but lower attack and really lower agility too. And this is her EX job level 120. And again, obviously, there's a little bit of difference there, I think, with the boards and everything. I'm not saying that this is as strong, but the stats are pretty comparable to the stats of a EX JP side limited time Christmas unit. And that's a little scary. And I do want to say something really quickly about what I think about Duane in terms of like looking at him as comparison. If I think he is the strongest unit that Wotv has ever seen, no, that's probably still Yuna. I still think that Duane will lose in a fight to Yuna. It would be interesting though, taking a look at the damage resistance, the base damage resistance. We got 10 slash, 15 pierce, and 5% for magic, with an extra 15% negative resistance against strike and a 5% negative against shooting. That's pretty good. That's really good for base resistances, comparing it to some of the other units. I think that Duane really holds up in terms of that. Some confusion resistance as well, which might make him good against Agrius, as well as stop resistance too, 50% for each, and that's fine. But taking a look at just his skills though, support were kind of an interesting point. Whereas Swift Shadow, an original one, which for his main class, which is move, +1 for himself, and an increase of chance of being targeted by 5. Not a huge amount, but big enough that it's pretty good for a tank's initial amount. And the movement is really good too. He has some really big choices, whether taking a look at Knighthood for his primary job, defense of 15 for himself. For Dragoon, he has a jump +1. He has an HP increase by 15%, which is not bad for a tanking unit. But the Viking lore, which gives him 12% HP increase, 24% attack, or increased missile resistance of 15. This is a really well-rounded kit for a unit. Seems like he can be pretty good against a lot of stuff. Not to mention just going into just his TMR here, which has 6 defense, 10 spirit, and HP, which is solid stats, I got to admit. But the effect on this is really incredible. Raises own magic resistance for 3 turns. Taking a look at it, maxed out, it is 25% magic resistance, which, given some of the magic resistance stuff in the future in terms of equipment, that's a lot. That is really good. That makes this unit, pretty well-rounded. It can only be used 1 time, but it lasts for 3 turns, so I think it's really good value. I think that he's pretty competitive. Counters, the only real counter I want to talk about is his unique job. Chance to counter magical damage, 30%, with a damage of 121% modifier, and it has really good range. I think it's like 3 range, which is 3 or 4. Really just very, very strong. Very, very strong counter against magic, which is kind of interesting. Like, it's a pretty well-rounded, like Dragoon Blade, obviously good for countering all damage and potentially restoring some HP, which is great for a tank, or a tanky like brawler type unit. But I have to say the magic counter that actually has some range on it is pretty darn good. Taking a look at his main job, he has one of his basic abilities with 126% modifier can also reduce dark resistance by 38% for 3 turns. Very strong. can decrease his own light resistance for getting 15 extra defense and spirit, which is good for a tanky-like unit. Would be kind of nice if it had, some hate generation on it, but probably creating the perfect unit is a bad idea. One of his AO attacks is a 25% chance for disabling, and that's plus version AoE, really good. He can increase slash and defense penetration. This is very similar to LC's ability in the future, and that's a really good ability, so I'm going to say it's really good here. And Magic Infuse, which dispels auto revive for the target, 200% modifier, and restores AP for the I think that's mispronounced. I think it's supposed to be like reduces AP by 20. Yeah, that's just a really strong, and it has a huge range on it. Quite a few of his abilities just have really good range. So even though he has decent movement too, so even if his speed isn't the best, I think he has really good ways of being a good offensive attacker. In the sub part of his job, he can decrease attack by 43% on one ability, or on the other ability that he has, he can decrease magic by 43% for 3 turns to a target. Really good debuffs as well. Something that I do note in the main job, he just doesn't have hate generation. And looking at the rest of his kit, yeah, he doesn't have any extra hate generation. So what he has is kind of what he's got, and that's probably the weakest part. It might not matter, in PvP, since a lot of by the time you get to that point in arena and whatnot, it's usually already been decided, so it's probably fine here. And again, with good range of movement, he has good ways of getting in pretty fast to be targeted, so I think that's fine. Noting other stuff, Viking gives him an access to an ability that can potentially give him Human Killer, which is pretty good because you're always fighting humans. He has the Rebellious Spirit ability from Viking, which is good for increasing his attack, as well as increases a little bit of his defense, which isn't bad. Dragoon gives him some other damage options, including, potentially decreasing bravery and having some jump abilities with high range on them. And last but not least, Death Scythe is Limit Burst, 200% modifier, absorb 50% of the damage done, is really strong, but at 58 AP, even with it being AoE, I wonder if the AI will lean on this too entirely much. It's good, but if his AI has been using a lot of his AP before this happens, might be a bit of a problem. But overall, I gotta say, my opinion is that Duane is an incredibly powerful unit. The combination of really... The best way I could say it is I feel like he's a light combination of Warrior of Light without the hate generation, but also the combination of Bling Stern, which is a hell of a thing to say, because honestly, I feel like it's way too powerful for the global side. If you could combine this with the Vision card, I think that Duane is just insanely way too powerful for the global side, and a massive power creep that could be for months. Literally... I mean, like, I imagine that Yuna is probably his counter. I don't think that Sakura is good enough to fight against this guy, even though Sakura is a very powerful mage. I just don't think it's enough. I mean, not having Guts in his kit, not having hate generation are kind of big strikes against saying that this is a tanky unit. And a tank is probably overselling him. I think the best way to describe him is he's basically a brawler, and he has more than enough in his kit to make him an incredibly valuable, strong unit for the long run. But I feel like for people who can't afford him, for people who can't get him, he's going to be a real big pain in the butt for the next little while, because damn is he strong. So yeah, I gotta say, just an insanely powerful unit. Gotta find it funny that Fravia is back on the Duane banner for anybody who is kind of wanting Duane. You're gonna potentially be getting quite a few Fravias. And hey, thanks, Hiroki! Man, do you see that? That it's just a present global from Hiroki. So, Mog likes presents. Mog's got a Christmas hat. One that doesn't really like to stay on, but we're not going to hold that against Mog. So we're just going to do some summons just for fun, because it's the end of the year, and my global account has been almost completely given up on, which is really fun. But yeah, I gotta say, my actual opinion about Duane is that I think that he's an incredibly solid unit. I think that he is insanely powerful, probably too powerful for the global side, and a good get for anybody who does get him and fully raises him. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that he will provide you probably an incredibly long-term value, except probably up until Yuna arrives, because Yuna's really what I feel like the big dog. Wow, thanks. I feel like I got, I'd say coal, but coal can be used for heat, so I feel like I don't think I could use any of those for heat. All right, so we're gonna do just like holes on the Duane banner. Luartha, for anybody, I've talked about Luartha enough. I don't think she's incredibly that exciting, so yeah. So we're just gonna do on the Duane banner for fun, for Christmas, for your guys' entertainment. But yeah, personally, I am not going to say that I recommend people getting Duane because, again, limited time unit, double cost. I don't think that you're getting really good value here. Mog's excited. I don't really think that this is something that Global should be encouraging because this could become a regular thing. Again, just I don't have any evidence to say that. It's just one of those things where if people are spending money, it's probably going to be a thing that's going to continue in the future. So, you know, be forewarned that just might be the situation that Global ends up in the future if this is supported, and I assume Wales will be supporting this because what else are you gonna do? Oh, look, see, this is what can happen on this banner. We're here to show you what could go wrong. He doesn't have a step up. What I will say reduces the cost of Duane is that he does have a bingo board, and that those bingo boards are valuable in terms of reducing cost. And I think that it's obviously very valuable here for a double cost unit like this. But you know, I feel like I've said this enough of just being like, yeah, it's double cost. Just enjoy the summons kind of thing. So yeah, I'm for the rest of the year, I'm kind of going to be making, you know, few news videos if any news pops up. But I also want to do a couple of recap videos for the entire year to do with some of the stuff that I really liked, because people think, oh, Umbra, you don't like anything. A little harsh, but not true. So I will be doing some videos like that to kind of wrap up the year, I guess. Oh, look, it's another one of these. Is it a vision card? No, it's a unit. Mog's freaking out. Who wants to bet it's a second Frivia? Aw. You see, if that was a yellow one, too, it would have been nice symmetry there. But, you know. Certainly not going to complain. As you can see, the emulator is having le trouble. It just can't keep up with all of this stuff. Okay, there was some symmetry there. I'll give credit where credit is due. Sometimes there's just a unit that really likes you, and she's kind of Christmassy. But honestly, like, in terms of like my overthought of the situation, I think that Duane is a really poor excuse for being a limited unit, as Frivia was, but probably more so. They really should probably just kind of stop doing this. But I don't think they are going to, obviously. I think that this represents a lot of money, and they're just kind of using the old tactic of create a problem and sell the solution, and that's what they're doing. So, yeah, it's up to you guys if you really, really want to. I even think that there is a, what is it? I do believe that there is a, just going to show this off really quickly. You know, when the game wants to load. Emulator chugs so hard on this. And I still got to talk about all the near units. Yeah, you can get a copy of Duane for 200 shards. So there is the potential of, if you are going to whale super hard, you're at least not going to end up with nothing out of this. But yeah, I got to say that overall, I personally, sorry, what's the word? I can't even think of the word right now. Like, impartially, I think that the unit is absolutely solid and will probably be meta for a long period of time on global. In terms of personally, I don't think you guys should support this, and I think that you should tell them to stop with your wallets. You should tell them to, hey, if you want us to do this kind of stuff, make them not limited. They're Brave Exvius characters. There shouldn't be no legal issues here. And you didn't even dress them up as a Christmas Duane, which sounds like a kind of fruit. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you are going for it. Obviously, my polls, or Mog's polls here, somewhat successful, but also somewhat not successful. So, you know, but fun regardless. So anyway, hope you guys have a great holidays, or Merry Christmas, or whatever you guys celebrate. Happy Hanukkah, all that good stuff. Either way, definitely think about not spending money on this and maybe using your money spend on something. Make it someone else's Christmas even better. So yeah, thanks for watching. Take care. I'm gonna go look at near units until I figure out whether or not I recommend them. See ya.